Hey, I'm Spencer Rice, and here's an introduction into my new project vehicle. It's a 1979 Jeep Cherokee Chief, and it's a little rough. I'm not gonna lie. This is my Jeep, and as you can tell, it's got some subtle rust issues. You can see through everything. The frame's pretty well complete, but as you can see, the rust is bad. The motor may or may not be a little seized. There was a carburetor on this thing. It's not anymore because I've been pouring a nice mixture of ATF diesel and some Marvel Mystery Oil, and it seemed to doing the job really well, but it is taking it a little bit. I've gotten it to move about a quarter of a turn over. When you have a seized engine, you want to fill the cylinders with something. Some people say motor oil, some say kerosene. I do diesel and ATF. Seems to work. That doesn't work. I also have a can of PV Blaster. I'm going to try two, and then I'm going to drain all the oil probably tomorrow. And once I do that, I'm going to see kind of what the oil is about. If there are metal shavings in the oil, and this engine was long gone before I got to it, even though it did sit in the field for I think 20 years. It's a little rough, but so the engine, it needs addressed. All the plastic bits are broken. Like every single hose is broken. I'm surprised the belts are actually still here. Most of everything on this vehicle is seized. Every single Jeep ever has a cracked grill like that, it seems. And this was used as a farm truck on somebody's property. I mean, you can tell it's not perfect. But I need to replace a lot of panels, including that front fender, this rear quarter, and probably this door, because it's a little sprung. Because if I try to close it like a normal person, it doesn't really want to close, you know. I don't know what to do. I'm just kind of stuck here doing one of these where I have to just slam it shut, and that usually works. I'm just gonna call it a quirk, you know. Poor girls, she's got some quirks, and that's one of them. And I can tell this car's had rust issue. Oh, I don't want to touch that. This car's had rust. That was nasty. I don't know why I even put my hands on it. You can tell there are ants all through this nasty car. And I mean, it's pretty bad. I put a bag here because I didn't want to die of like syphilis, or I wash my hands before I go to the bathroom because I don't know what I'm touching. It makes me want to puke everywhere. No joke. If you could be here, you could tell just how nasty this car is. I mean, she's rough. The other thing is, I didn't roll these windows down. These windows are rolled down, both side and the rear. And that's been like that for about 20 years. So it's got rust issues, obviously, and they obviously had rust issues before because this has been patched. So I have to deal with that now too. These are basically gone. I know I can get fiberglass ones, which is probably what I'm gonna go with. The rear hatch on a Wagoneer, well, this isn't a Wagoneer, but Wagoneer, full-size Jeep, Cherokee, any of those, they're very important because if the window's not down, you can't open it. So luckily for me, the window's down. Unluckily, it doesn't work, it's broken. And the funny part about it, if I drop the tailgate, it drops normal. I'm like, okay, sweet, it works. But whenever I put it back up, this is the part that concerns me the most. It like jams pretty good and doesn't quite act right. And then also like, oh, there it went. It also doesn't shut, like it shuts on this side. You can tell it's closer. On this side, there's a huge gap. And it doesn't even, like, you can't really see in there. It's pretty hard, but it doesn't actually even close. Look at that. No closure. This sucker sprung, but it does close if I just slam it like everything else. So The doors work. It does have a cool roof rack on it. I do dig this. I am trying to find tires for this because that tire up there is pretty toasted. And I've been having trouble finding that tire because I've been through every salvage yard except for one. I'm hoping they have the tire I need. And they're like, yeah, we have one. And then I go there and like, oh, we just sold it. I'm like, you know how much that helps me. This door actually does work, which is super cool. I like it when doors work properly. And this door panel, mine is missing. That thing is actually not bad. I'm kind of impressed. I'm like, great job, Jeep. And like, you know, here, have some floor. It's pretty well gone, as you can tell. You know, just some minor rust issues. This also came with air conditioning, which I like. I will like if I can get this thing fixed. These windows work pretty well. I put WD-40 on them and they function as they're supposed to. There we go. So this door closes, and yeah, this is the tire that's pretty well trashed. I also may have damaged the bumper a little bit whenever I was jerking on the thing with a chain in a truck. It didn't like that so well. But anyway, this is just kind of an introduction to this poor old Jeep. I really want to get it back on the road. My plan is we're going to take it to the Easter Jeep Safari on Utah. I think that's, April 4th through the 12th. So I've got a lot of time to get it fixed. If anybody's ever seen, like read any Jalopnik articles, David Tracy takes an old Jeep every year to the Easter Jeep Safari. And that's kind of what I want to do with this. It's not really a cheap Jeep because I got it for free. So I don't have any money in this thing. If it doesn't work, I think I'm going to get it to one of my chump friends and say, hey, it's yours. So anyway, here's my new Jeep. I really want to get it fixed, but if I can't, there's other plans, or it's a pretty heavy vehicle. I think I could scrap it for a couple $100. So I hope that is not the fate of this car because it's pretty cool. But anyway, thank you for checking this out. I'll catch you later.